Hey fellow readers and gamers, I am back with my playthrough of Everlasting Summer. In my last episode I was wandering aimlessly around mines that were beneath the old abandoned camp, looking for my boy Shrek, who got himself probably dumbass lost for no good reason. Anyway, so I have wandered around the mines for a while, got frustrated, swore a few times, and then Googled it. And so now I'm at my destination. Let's see what happens. Around one last turn, a door appeared from the darkness. I opened it and went inside a small room. Nobody was here except Shrek, who sat in the corner. Shrek! He stared at me with eyes full of terror. Don't come near me. Shrek, it's me, Semyon. I won't give up so easily. He grabbed a piece of a reinforced bar from behind his back and started waving it around. Shrek, what's wrong with you? Calm down. First you bring me here, then you take me through this mine, and now you're pretending to be Semyon. He must have gone completely nuts. Shrek, calm down. Nobody's pretending to be me. I really am me. I tried to talk as calmly as I could, but I was almost feeling more nervous than him. Semyon? He squinted. Is that really you? Yes. And now tell me what happened. How did you get here? Shrek recovered his breath and started to talk. I needed some parts for the robot, and I heard that there is a bomb shelter in the old camp, and there could be some instruments there. So I got up in the morning and went. He stopped for a minute, trying to deal with the trembling of his hands. I found suitable parts, but then I read primal fear in his eyes. The voices, they told me to go here. I went down the mine. Then they were telling me to go to the right, then left, then right, then left, then right, then left. He started to laugh hysterically. But now they won't get me. I'll stay sitting here. They won't find me here. He once again started to wave his pipe in the air. Shrek, there's no one there. I wasted quite a lot of time walking in the mine like you, but didn't hear any voices. He fixed his eyes on me. Then you're with them. Shrek rushed towards me. I was just barely able to dodge him. But the flashlight wasn't as lucky and took the full force of Shrek's blow. We found ourselves in complete darkness. Now it was my turn to lose my mind. What have you done, you idiot? I lashed out with my hand in the direction where I expected Shrek to be, but to no avail. Now we will both die here. I got nothing but silence in return, and then a quiet, hysterical laugh. It's all right. That's fine. I know where the exit is. Follow me. Follow you where? I can't see a damn thing. Follow my voice. I had no other choice. Here. Shrek's voice was heard from somewhere further on. How do you know where to go? I walked all over here. Then why didn't you leave? The voices. Quiet. They can hear us. In theory, I could believe that there are some supernatural forces here. In the Sovionok camp, they'd just be a daily occurrence. But there was no reason to panic, yet. Though my hands were shaking non-stop. Here. I slowly followed his voice, and eventually lost track of time. We could have been roaming for a few minutes, or a few hours. Finally, a dim light appeared in the distance. We're here. We reached the wall. The way towards freedom was blocked by a lattice on the ceiling. I pulled myself up and recognized the square from the bits of landscape I could see. Lift me up. Shrek obediently followed my request. I started to hit the grating with my fists so hard that in just a few strikes my arms were all covered in blood. But in return, the grating gave way and pushed open. A minute later, we were out on the surface behind the monument of Genda. When I saw this grating before, I had no idea that there could be catacombs below it. They will come for you. I fell to the ground exhausted. Who? They will come, said Shurik again and ran away. I was so exhausted that I could not even be bothered thinking about some voices or recalling the forsaken camp, the bomb shelter, or the mine. Almost unconscious, I reached the camp leader's cabin, but I couldn't go to bed right away. Well, look who's here. Olga Dmitrievna. I started tiredly, attempting to cut the explanation to a minimum. You said you were going for a walk, but instead, I was going to go and call the police. And, Olga Dmitrievna, can it wait until tomorrow? I'm really tired. The camp leader eyed me all over. Okay, fine. I was a bit surprised that she agreed so fast, but decided not to waste this opportunity and quickly turned the light off and darted under the covers. Day 5. Day 5. Are they going to come get me? Who's coming to get me? We ran with the last of our strength, like those who run for their precious lives. Like a doomed person, knowing that there is no hope to save his life, will still fight the inevitable and his own fate. I barely managed to close the heavy metal door behind me. I have no idea how deep this bomb shelter is, or if it's able to withstand a nuclear blast, but we have no other place to hide. She gripped my hand tight. Don't be afraid. Bits of the ceiling were falling and the walls were shaking. I was prepared for the worst. But death is the kind of thing that you can't ever be prepared for. But suddenly, complete silence fell. It rang even louder than the explosions. Maybe it's time to say goodbye. She was whimpering. I wanted to comfort her somehow, but realized that there is nothing I could do. Yes, you know, A horrible bang almost split my eardrums. It seems that I'm under a piece of collapsed ceiling, but I don't feel any pain. All I want is to not let her go. I woke up in a cold sweat, short of breath and gasping for air. It took me some time to come to my senses. It was a dream. Or a memory. Past lives? Intersection? We'll see. It was just a dream. My questioning mind, however, refused to believe it. But who was that girl with me there? I didn't want to let go of her hand so desperately. Sadly, I couldn't recall her at all. The clock was showing few minutes past 10. I slowly came to my senses as reality started to stake out its claim on my mind, and my stomach foully growled. All right, war is war, but lunch should be served in due time. It turned out that Olga Dmitrievna wasn't here. She must have decided not to wake me up. Well, thanks go out to our camp leader for this. After yesterday's adventures, I had to have a rest. Last night remained a blurry memory which I really didn't want to think about. It's now more important to find something to eat and to wash myself. Exactly. Because a pioneer must always be clean and tidy. Though I would agree with this principle even if I wasn't a pioneer. And as a matter of fact, I'm not. On my way to the washstands, I met Electronic. He started to wave his hands and ran up to me. Good morning. Thank you for finding Shurik. Without him, I don't even... It's nothing. I was a bit embarrassed. No, really, don't be so shy. The country must be proud of its heroes. And what about Shurik? How did he look this morning? Is he all right? After yesterday's craziness, I thought such a question was completely valid. Yes, absolutely. The only thing is that he can't remember anything. Can't he? I wasn't surprised at all. He says that he went to the abandoned camp yesterday and then woke up in his bed in the morning. I mean, he remembers nothing between those two events. I see. All right, then. You missed breakfast, right? Come to our club. We'll feed you. I have something special. Electronic smiled in a conspiratorial way. Thanks, I'll come. Probably. I had to wash myself first anyway. We'll be waiting. He waved at me and left to carry out his own business. There was nobody near the washstands. The water turned out surprisingly warm today. It's been warmed up already, I guess. Having my face washed, I realized that it wouldn't be easy to wash the rest of my body here. Maybe I should go to the showers. But since there is nobody here, I turned the tap in such a way so water streamed parallel to the ground and started to take off my clothes. And what if somebody sees me? Well, I'll rinse and dry myself quickly and put on my clothes. The water, which seemed warm on my hands and face, felt bone-chillingly cold on my body. The whole washing process took no longer than 10 seconds, and I started to wipe myself quickly afterwards. But I didn't manage to finish anyway. There were voices coming in from the direction of the footpath. The only solution came to me in a split second. I grabbed my clothes and dashed into the bushes. A moment later, Elisa and Oliana appeared near the washstands. You could have done it by yourself. Why did you bring me here? Is it a big deal for you? Fine, let me. I peered at them and noticed that they were both covered in red paint. What a surprise. I wonder how they managed that. Elisa opened the valve and started to rub Uliana's back. Take off your bra. But I think I'm going to have to censor something. What if somebody sees us? What? Is there anything to see? She grinned. Okay, just be quick. Oh, it looks like it's already censored. It was true that there wasn't much to look at, but even so, I stared at the girls narrowly. It was a pity that they were standing with their backs to me. A minute later, Elisa managed to wash off all the paint. I'm done. Thanks. You're welcome, Elisa replied lazily. Listen, let me try on yours. She pointed at Elisa's bra. It won't fit you for sure. Well, I'd like to try anyway. But out here? There's nobody here, right? Oliana looked my way and smiled archly. I was absolutely sure she couldn't see me in these bushes, but enough with this nonsense. Oliana wasn't listening to her anymore and grabbed Elisa's bra with a dexterous move instead. Now, I have to confess, I had something to look at. I watched the two girls chase one another around the washstands with bated breath. Elisa covered her breasts with her hands so I could barely see anything at all. I leaned forward and stumbled over a stone, falling out of the bushes. Oh no! Elisa and Oliana stood frozen, staring at me. I tried to cover my nudity with my guilty face. The tableau lasted for a few seconds. Then Elisa took her shirt and somehow put it on in an instant. You, her face gone from red to purple. It looked like she would explode in a nuclear blast any second. The only thing I wanted was to disintegrate into atoms and to get as far from the epicenter as possible. He was sitting there the whole time. So she noticed me then. You, and I accidentally, if you know what I mean. Elisa rushed at me. Covering my butt with one hand and holding my clothes with the other, I ran in the woods. It seemed the best solution to me at that time, as showing up naked in the middle of the camp accompanied by two screaming girls wasn't a good idea. I ran without looking back, and stopped a few minutes later to catch my breath. It seemed that there was no pursuit, so I managed to save myself. But at the cost of lacerated, scratched, and bleeding feet, as I had no time to put on my boots. I sat on a tree stump and sighed. Shouldn't I put some clothes on? Oh, there we go. Sometime later, having dressed already, I left the forest. I need to decide what to do next. My feet are hurting, so I should go straight to the infirmary. But on the other hand, my stomach isn't going to wait either. Maybe I should accept Electronic's invitation, or head to the canteen in the hope of finding something left there to eat. Oh, now I have a choice. Do I go to the cabins? Nope, can't go to any cabins. Infirmary, kitchen, dining hall, or the clubhouses. Let's go to the infirmary and see what happens. Maybe Lena will be there. I was always took good care of my health. I was always took good care of my health. Awesome. Little bit of translation boo-boos. And even better care at the times when something starts to hurt badly. So without hesitation, I made my way to the infirmary. I don't know, I think I hesitated a bit there. But right in front of the door, I stopped as if some mysterious force was holding me. I had absolutely no desire to face the camp nurse without any urgent need, but on the other hand, I almost did a great deed yesterday defending the infirmary, so in some sense, she owed me. I took heart and opened the door. Hi, Pioneer. Hello. I'm sorry that I was so late yesterday. It wasn't a problem at all. Why have you come? Are you sick? She smiled slyly. Take off your clothes. Well, I got my feet a bit... You got a bit what? My feet. I gave a stupid answer. Okay, show me. I sat on the couch and took off my boots. How did you manage that? I'd better keep silent about what happened near the washstands. Well, Okay, never mind. Wait a second. She rummaged in the drawer and took out a big red pill with a cross-shaped notch from a vial. And what is that for? I was disturbed by the size of the pill and its strange shape. They are broken in halves usually and not in quarters. This is to make the amputation of your legs unnecessary. What? Nothing. Don't be afraid. Pioneer. You'll take it, and it will all be all right. And this pill? Why does it look like that? That's for patients who refuse to take medicines perorally. We screw it into them with a screwdriver then. I didn't dare to ask where they were being screwed in, actually. And now try to bear it a bit. She took a big pack of cotton wool, wrapped a bud with it, and applied plenty of iodine to it. I braced myself for the torments of hell. I moaned quietly. They should tell me how I'm supposed to do this beforehand. That's funny. I moaned quietly. But my trust in this method of disinfection was much higher than in the odd pill, so I had to withstand the burning. Now it's done. I put on my boots and tried to walk. My feet were still hurting, but the sharp pain was gone. Thank you. Don't mention it. Drop in any time, Pioneer. I said goodbye and left the infirmary. My health problem was solved. It's the right time to eat now. The day has just started and I've gone through so many things already, but I did it and now have legitimate grounds to fill myself up. Today I wasn't the last one, so I could choose a free table. Lunch included pea soup and mashed potatoes with fish. It was a major disappointment to me as I don't eat fish in any form and hence will get fewer calories than usual. Soon Slavia and Lena came to my table. Can we? She smiled nicely. Eh? Oh, yes, sure. I stood up and pulled out a chair for her. Please. I was in an excellent mood at that moment. Enjoy your meal. Saying that, Lena began staring at me and continued for some time, but then, after realizing how odd she looked, switched to her plate. You too. Do you have any plans for today, Semyon? Nope. I gave her an honest answer, as indeed I had no plans. Except for searching for answers, but that was more like a global goal. Do you want to take a boat ride to the island with us? The island? Well, I think I've seen it from the pier. For what? Olga Dmitrievna asked us to gather some strawberries. There are a lot of strawberries there, and they're so delicious. I could imagine the taste without even eating it, just by looking at Slavia's face. Strawberries. I can't fight it. It's like a Homer Simpson. Ah. Okay, and what are those for? I don't know, but it's indeed a great idea. Well, indeed it is. Moreover, I haven't been to the island yet. Yeah, sure. Within minutes, we were already standing at the pier. Well, here is the boat. Hang on, I'll go and fetch the paddles now. I was left face to face with Lena. Do you like strawberries? Well, not really. But they're tasty. Lena smiled. I see. I didn't know what to say next, how to continue the conversation. If Slavia didn't come back, we could probably sit here till the evening without saying a word. Here you go. She handed me a pair of hefty paddles. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I knew I was going to end up paddling. We got into the boat. I untied it, pushed off the shore, and tried to start paddling. And where exactly are we heading to? Right there. She pointed her finger at the island. That island is named the closest one. The closest one? I wonder what captain gave it such an original name. Well, the island is indeed close to the shore. Aye, aye, Captain. If only I'd known what was waiting for me ahead. Ooh, what was waiting for us ahead? We'll see in the next video what was waiting for us ahead. So there we go. We've found Shurik. He was crazy, but we managed to escape, and now apparently he's normal, and we're taking a nice little boat trip with some girls. But apparently there's something waiting for us on the other side. So that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Click that thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel so you can see how all of this craziness is going to turn out. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye-bye for now.